Hi everyone, welcome to Breathe and Bake, where we focus on mindful cooking and mindful eating, and really inviting you all to spend a moment with us in the kitchen and experience everything that we're cooking and hopefully cooking together if you pre-read the recipe and bought the ingredients to do it along with us. So today we are going to be making strawberry lavender lemonade, which I'm very excited about. Right now is the time where strawberries are in season in my area, so I am very excited. It's like one of my favorite fruits. To get started, I cleaned a pint of strawberries, and we're going to hull them. So we're going to take off this green part and then slice them in half and put them into our pot to start with. I think flavored lemonades are so refreshing. It's a way to really just get sometimes unexpected tastes in a drink that everybody is very familiar with. So it's fun to put a twist on classics sometimes. Obviously, you can do this with other fruit too. You can do this, I love blackberry lemonade. That would be a great one if blackberries are in season by you. Blueberry lemonade, peach, raspberry. Really, there's a whole host of flavors. This one's very big, so I'm gonna quarter it. There's a whole host of flavors that you can utilize. And definitely use what is grown by you, because that is likely to have the best flavor. It hasn't needed to travel far and wide to get to you. So we focus on mindfulness in the kitchen for a number of reasons: to really be present and be in the moment. There's also practical reasons to focus on mindfulness in the kitchen. Another benefit of focusing on mindfulness in the kitchen is really the safety aspects of it. A lot of times personally, when I've cut my finger in the kitchen or grated my finger in the kitchen or done other things, it's because I really wasn't paying attention to what I was doing in the moment. I was chopping or washing a knife or doing something like that. And even though physically I was present, my mind was somewhere else. And I was just not focused, which led to accidents. So that's a practical reason to bring mindfulness into the kitchen. But mindfulness, for me, allows me to also really enjoy the moments that I spend in the kitchen and appreciate the food that I have in front of me, that I get to be creative in the kitchen. Lets me appreciate a lot of things about the opportunity to be here and do this. So with our pint of strawberries, we're going to add 1.5 cups of water. And we're going to do equal parts water and sugar. So 1.5 cups of sugar. This is a 1/2 cup, so I'm going to use 3 of these. There we go. And I had mentioned that this is lavender lemonade. Oh my goodness. So this is dried lavender, which is so, it just smells like a field of flowers. Obviously it is a flower. I love the way dried lavender smells. We're going to use 1 tablespoon and with everything else. And then what you'll see is afterward we're going to strain it out. We're not going to have little chunks of dried lavender. Lavender is a really wonderful addition to like cookies, cupcakes, cakes. You just don't want to overdo the lavender because it is very perfumey. It can be very like, you can just overdo lavender. But when you do it right, it is really good. And lavender, to me, goes really well with lemon. So that's why it is going in our lemonade along with our strawberries. A little extra something special. We are going to bring these to a simmer and then let it cook for about 5 minutes. We're gonna continue to kind of like mash it as we're cooking it to get nice and syrupy, and then we're gonna strain it. While that is starting, we are going to go ahead and get our juice out of our lemons. You will see that these are missing their zest. I did not want to just use the lemon juice and throw away the zest. So I have zested all these lemons, and I am going to be making lemon salt with those, so that way lemon zest doesn't go to waste. It is, any citrus zest has so much flavor and so much aroma. I don't like just throwing it in the garbage. There's so many uses for it. You can, use it on different baked goods, right? You could throw lemon zest into cookie dough. You could throw lemon zest into muffins and cupcakes. You can also use lemon zest in your marinades. You can make a lemon herb butter and take softened butter and sprinkle lemon zest over it and chop whatever herbs you have on hand and roll that up and you have a delicious herb butter. So many things. So don't throw away your lemon zest, because use everything that you have. Get your money's worth out of these. We are going to need 1 3/4 cup of lemon juice. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut my lemons in half. And then before I start squeezing, I'm going to check on the strawberry lavender simple syrup that we're making over there to see if it is starting to simmer yet. If you have any cuts on your hand, find a friend or family member to help you with this part, because citrus juice in cuts is not fun. No, we have some very tiny bubbles, not ready yet. Okay, these lemons were surprisingly juicy, and I only needed about 7.5 of them. Yeah, so I only needed about 7.5 of them, so I will take these and save them. At this point, you have a couple of choices. You could either mash them with a fork, or you can go in with an immersion blender, which is what I'm gonna do. If you're going to use an immersion blender like I did, be very careful because this is hot. And also, you might want to use a bigger pot to begin with because this really took up the room and I did like a little bit of spillage. So you might want to use a bigger pot so that you don't have to worry about that. But the smell is so good. You could really smell the lavender, that like floral smell. But then you also have those strawberries as well. It's like so good, a little perfumey, it smells so good. Okay, our next step is that we are going to strain our lemon juice and our strawberry lavender simple syrup into 8 cups of water, and then we're going to let it chill. We are straining it so that way we're not getting seeds from the lemon, we're not getting pulp from the lemon, and then we're not getting like chunks of lavender or strawberry that's gonna potentially, any of those things can make it a little bit unpleasant to drink. So we're going to strain it and go from there. You might wonder why I'm straining this into a bowl and not directly into the pitcher that I have. That is because I have done this before and my strainer is bigger than my pitcher, so it has the risk of coming out of the sides and not all going straight down. So it is a much safer endeavor for me to strain into a bowl and then pour that into there. If you have a strainer that fits over your pitcher, you can go right ahead and do that. You don't need to dirty an extra bowl. And I'm gonna take my spoon. You can see how this is just dripping a little out of here. And I'm just gonna stir it so that way I'm moving around the pulp and I'm getting to all the juice. Letting all of the juice come out. Alright, we're gonna clean this out. And we will start on our simple syrup. And we'll do the same thing to make sure we get all the liquid out. Let's see. Getting the last of this out. My experience has been that if I try to smush it with like a fork or a spoon, I do get a good amount out, but there are like larger chunks that are left behind. But if I use an immersion blender, then I'm really left with kind of minimal remnants of the strawberry that I am discarding. A lot of the strawberry is ending up in the simple syrup. Everything's going in the sink. And we're gonna mix our strawberry lavender simple syrup with our 8 cups of water. We're gonna need a bigger pitcher. Maybe. We're gonna try it first and see if it's sweet enough. We actually might be okay. Isn't the color so pretty? Okay. Ooh. I actually think that's really good. What I'm gonna do is take the bit of simple syrup that's left and I'm gonna pour it into a bottle. So if anybody wants it sweeter, they can adjust the sweetness. But I think this is really good for my taste. But that way, if anybody else wants it sweeter, they can. I'll show you what that looks like. So here I have a little squeezy bottle that I will cap off that I'm going to put the rest of my simple syrup in. So I'm going to put these both in the fridge to get nice and cold, and then we will come back and try it when it's nice and cold. And like I said, this is a little extra simple syrup if anybody wants it sweeter. But this is quite good. Try it, you know, as you go. Depending on how sweet your strawberries are, you might need less of it. Hey y'all, we are back and ready to try our strawberry lavender lemonade. Can you believe how pretty this color is? Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, so I have let this cool in the fridge for a few hours. All And then if you remember, we also have our extra lavender strawberry simple syrup in case we decide that we want it sweeter as well. So, I smell the lavender right away, and it just smells like spring. It smells so good. Oh, that is so good. You really taste the lavender, but it's not overpowering. And then you get the strawberry and you get like a little bit of the sourness of the lemon. It's a really nice balance of flavor. I actually, personally, am not going to add any more simple syrup, but I know like my kids might add more simple syrup to make it sweeter. But for me, holding back on the full amount is best. That is so nice. I hope that you enjoy it and share it with family and friends, other loved ones. So take care, and we hope to see you again soon.